Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people seem to effortlessly attract wealth while others struggle year after year to make ends meet? What if I told you the answer isn't luck, timing, or connections, but something far more powerful, something that starts in your mind? Right now, at this very moment, your thoughts are shaping the life you live. Every worry, every doubt, every fleeting dream is a signal sent into the universe, quietly creating the reality you experience. Your mind is not just a part of you, it is the soil from which everything grows. If you plant seeds of fear, scarcity, and limitation, that is exactly what you will harvest. But if you learn to plant seeds of possibility, courage, and abundance, you will begin to grow a life that feels unstoppable, inevitable, and rich beyond imagination. Imagine waking up each day with clarity, focus, and the certainty that opportunities are flowing toward you effortlessly. Imagine feeling the confidence that no challenge can shake you, no setback can derail you, and no obstacle can stop you from reaching the life you deserve. This is not a fantasy. This is the natural outcome of a mind trained to attract wealth, a mind that has learned to focus, to believe, and to act in alignment with abundance. The truth is simple. Your external world is only a reflection of your inner world. Change the inside and the outside will follow. Right now, ask yourself, what have you been allowing your mind to believe? Scarcity, fear, limitation, or possibility? Every thought you entertain, every emotion you feel, every habit you repeat is silently building the foundation of your financial future. Most people drift through life, unaware that their mind is both the architect and the gatekeeper of their success. But the moment you take control, the moment you understand that your mind is not just reacting to the world, but actively shaping it, you step into a power few ever claim. You stop waiting for luck and start commanding your own destiny. Here's the reward for those who commit. When you truly understand the power of your mind, wealth stops being a distant dream. It stops being something you chase. It becomes a natural consequence of your daily thoughts, choices, and focus. Opportunities begin to appear in ways you never expected. Doors you didn't even know existed open effortlessly. People, ideas, and resources align as if the universe itself is conspiring in your favor. You begin to see not just what is, but what could be, and you have the tools to shape it. This is why you must pay attention now, because every second spent allowing doubt and fear to dominate is a second that strengthens the old patterns, the limiting beliefs, the scarcity mindset that keeps you small. But every second you dedicate to training your mind, to consciously cultivating thoughts of wealth, possibility, and courage is a second invested in a life of freedom, abundance, and unstoppable power. Right here, right now, you have the chance to begin. To awaken the mind that will attract unlimited wealth and to step into a reality where your dreams are not just imagined, they are inevitable. Every thought you nurture becomes a habit. Every habit you practice becomes a part of who you are. Right now, the choices you make, what you focus on, what you repeat in your mind, are quietly shaping the trajectory of your life. Wealth is not an accident. It is the result of repeated mental patterns, of consistent focus, of deliberate habits that align with abundance. Those who accumulate wealth, influence, and freedom do not do so by chance. They do it by training their minds every single day, by choosing thoughts that empower them, by creating routines that reinforce their belief in possibility. Your mind is a machine, and it will follow the patterns you allow to dominate your attention. The question is, are your patterns building opportunity or reinforcing limitation? Think about the first moments of your day. Are you opening your mind to fear, doubt, and scarcity? Or are you consciously cultivating thoughts of abundance, confidence, and possibility? These first thoughts set the tone for your entire day. They determine how you perceive challenges, how you react to opportunities, and how much energy you bring to every decision. Wealthy minds treat their inner dialogue as sacred, as a guiding force. They monitor it, correct it, and cultivate it like the most valuable asset they possess. Because it is. Your thoughts are the blueprint of your life. The habits that emerge from your thoughts either construct a life of limitation or a life of infinite potential. Every decision you make, no matter how small, compounds over time. The way you speak to yourself, the focus you choose, the habits you repeat. These are the invisible architects of your financial destiny. Small actions taken consistently create momentum so powerful that it can overcome setbacks, obstacles, and even failures. The human brain is wired to seek efficiency. Once a pattern is established, it becomes automatic. This is why the habits of thought are so crucial. When you train your mind to consistently focus on wealth, opportunity, and growth, your brain begins to operate effortlessly in alignment with abundance. Opportunities become visible. Decisions become clearer. Energy becomes unstoppable. Gratitude, focus, and intentional thought are the building blocks of wealth. Every morning, your mind is a blank canvas. What will you paint on it today? Scarcity, worry, and doubt will create a life of struggle. Purposeful focus on abundance, possibilities, and solutions will create a life of freedom, wealth, and fulfillment. Habits are not formed by chance. They are formed by repetition and conscious effort. Each thought you choose, each action you take, reinforces the next. Soon you will move through life almost effortlessly, guided by a mind programmed for success, responding instinctively to opportunities that others miss. This is the power of a wealthy mind. Not talent, not luck, not timing. It is the consistent, deliberate practice of thinking, feeling, and acting in alignment with abundance. When your mind is trained this way, wealth is no longer a goal you chase. It becomes a natural, automatic consequence of who you are, of how you think, and of the habits you embody. Right now, you have the power to choose those thoughts, to form those habits, to cultivate the mental environment that attracts unlimited wealth. Every choice, every repetition, every moment of focus is a seed. Plant it wisely and watch your life transform beyond anything you ever imagined. The only thing standing between you and the wealth you desire is the invisible architecture of your beliefs. Every limitation you feel, every barrier you see, is rooted in thoughts you have accepted as truth without question. I'm not enough. Money is hard to earn. Opportunities are rare. These are not facts. They are mental patterns you inherited, absorbed, or repeated so many times that your brain now treats them as reality. And yet, the moment you recognize them, the moment you question them, the moment you refuse to accept them as absolute, you reclaim control. Beliefs are not permanent. They are choices. You can change them. You can dismantle every mental chain that has kept you trapped and replace it with thoughts that expand your vision, strengthen your courage, and attract abundance. Every belief shapes perception. Scarcity thinking narrows your focus. It blinds you to opportunity and convinces you that struggle is inevitable. Abundance thinking expands your mind, sharpens your awareness, and allows you to see pathways where others see walls. Your brain is highly adaptive. It forms connections based on repeated thoughts and experiences. Every time you entertain a limiting belief, you reinforce it. Every time you consciously replace it with a thought of possibility, you weaken the old pattern and strengthen a new one. This is the science of transformation. The brain cannot distinguish between a thought vividly believed and a reality experienced. By choosing beliefs that serve your growth, your mind begins to create the very outcomes you desire. Imagine for a moment what it would feel like to fully release every mental block that has ever held you back, to feel the weight of doubt lifted, to step into a space where your mind naturally expects opportunity, abundance, and prosperity at every turn. This is not fantasy. This is achievable, measurable, and trainable. The moment you start questioning the old scripts running in your mind, you begin to shift the entire trajectory of your life. Every opportunity you ignored, every risk you avoided, every I can't you whispered into the silence begins to transform into action, courage, and possibility. The power of belief goes beyond confidence. It is the engine of manifestation. Neuroscience proves that expectation shapes outcomes. When you genuinely believe that wealth is possible, your mind unconsciously aligns your focus, attention, and energy to make it happen. Doubt, on the other hand, triggers hesitation, missed opportunities, and fear-driven decisions. Belief rewires perception. It creates the lens through which you see the world. It determines which doors you notice, which conversations you engage in, and which risks you take. Every wealthy mind operates from this principle. They train themselves to see potential where others see impossibility. They cultivate beliefs that magnetize opportunity, and their reality conforms to those beliefs effortlessly. Now, consider the freedom this creates. The freedom to act boldly without fear, the freedom to invest in yourself, the freedom to pursue opportunities without hesitation. This is the emotional reward for those who commit to transforming their beliefs. A mind that naturally attracts abundance, a perspective that recognizes possibilities everywhere and the courage to act on them. Every limiting thought removed, every empowering belief embraced, rewires your brain towards success. The life you imagine, the wealth you desire, the freedom you crave, all of it begins here in the conscious, deliberate cultivation of your beliefs. You have the power to break free from the invisible chains and step fully into a mind that draws unlimited wealth every single day. Close your eyes and picture yourself already living the life you desire. Feel the freedom, the abundance, the security, the excitement flowing through you. The truth is, your mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real. Visualization is not daydreaming. It is the training ground for your brain. Every successful person, every innovator, every entrepreneur uses this tool, consciously or unconsciously. When you see wealth in your mind with clarity, your brain begins to create neural patterns as if it is already happening. Your subconscious starts aligning with the reality you are imagining. Opportunities begin to appear, connections form, and your decisions instinctively guide you toward abundance. This is the invisible, undeniable force that separates those who attract wealth from those who chase it endlessly. The key to visualization is not just seeing numbers in a bank account or a luxury lifestyle. It's about feeling it fully, deeply, viscerally. Imagine the pride in your accomplishments, the confidence in your choices, the relief of freedom, and the joy of living without limits. When your emotions are engaged, your brain treats the vision as real, embedding it into your subconscious and guiding your actions toward its manifestation. Your thoughts, feelings, and sensations become a powerful magnet, drawing circumstances, people, and opportunities into alignment with the life you are committed to creating. Each morning, each evening, each quiet moment is a chance to practice this exercise. The more vivid, the more consistent, the stronger the impact. Many people fail to harness this power because they underestimate their own imagination. They think visualization is optional, a luxury reserved for dreamers. But science proves otherwise. Athletes who mentally rehearse outperform those who do not. Entrepreneurs who clearly see the end goal navigate challenges with precision and resilience. Visualization reshapes the brain's wiring, builds confidence, and activates the same neural pathways that would be active if success had already arrived. Your mind begins to expect abundance, and in doing so, it begins to recognize and act on the opportunities that were invisible before. Do not confuse imagination with passivity. Visualization is not about hoping for wealth. It is about preparing your mind to receive it. Every detail you see, every emotion you feel, every decision you mentally rehearse strengthens the path from desire to reality. Your subconscious becomes a powerful ally, guiding your focus, intuition, and behavior toward outcomes that match the life you have imagined. Doubts may arise, fears may linger, but the repetition of clear, emotionally charged visualization overpowers them. It trains your mind to believe in possibility, to move with certainty, and to act decisively. The reward is profound. As you practice, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in perception. You will see potential where others see problems, solutions where others see obstacles, and opportunities where others see risk. Your energy will change, your confidence will expand, your focus will sharpen. Wealth stops being a distant goal and becomes a living, breathing part of your reality. By training your mind to see it, feel it, and expect it, you create the conditions for it to manifest naturally. The life you imagine is not just a dream, it is a prelude to the life you are destined to claim. Each visualization is a promise to your subconscious, a blueprint for your success, and a declaration that abundance is not optional. It is inevitable. Belief is the force that transforms vision into reality. Without it, even the clearest visualization remains nothing more than a fleeting thought. The mind is wired to act on what it truly believes. When you genuinely believe that wealth is possible, that success is inevitable, and that opportunity is abundant, your brain begins to filter the world in alignment with that truth. Every decision, every action, every glance at the world becomes guided by possibility instead of limitation. Doubt, hesitation, and fear are natural, but belief acts as a shield and a compass. It protects you from the distractions of uncertainty and points you steadily toward the outcomes you desire. Science shows that expectation shapes perception and behavior. Your beliefs are not passive. They are active forces in the creation of your reality. When you expect success, Your mind notices opportunities others miss, recognizes solutions that others overlook, and engages in action without being paralyzed by fear. Belief rewires your brain to operate from possibility. It programs your subconscious to align with abundance, reinforcing habits, focus, and energy that naturally attract wealth. The mind does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is truly believed. By cultivating deep, unwavering belief, you effectively create the conditions for your goals to manifest. Belief is more than confidence. It is certainty in motion. It is the understanding that challenges are temporary and that failure is feedback, not a verdict. When your mind is trained to operate from belief, obstacles lose their power to stop you. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every difficulty becomes a stepping stone, and every fear becomes a signal to move with greater clarity and courage. Your energy shifts, your focus sharpens, your actions gain precision. Belief transforms hesitation into momentum and resistance into opportunity. The difference between those who achieve extraordinary wealth and those who do not is rarely talent or resources. It is the depth and consistency of their belief in themselves and in the possibilities around them. Every small affirmation, every repeated declaration of potential, every moment spent visualizing and feeling your success strengthens belief. These are not empty words. They are signals sent to your subconscious, training it to operate in alignment with the life you intend to create. Doubt will try to intrude. Fear will attempt to cloud your vision. But each time you reinforce belief, each time you anchor yourself in the truth of possibility, the neural pathways of success grow stronger, automatic, unstoppable. Your mind begins to recognize the patterns of opportunity and to take action without conscious effort. Belief becomes the engine that drives your journey toward unlimited wealth. The emotional reward is immediate and profound. A mind anchored in belief feels powerful, resilient, and free. It experiences a sense of inevitability where challenges are no longer threatening and possibilities are everywhere. You no longer chase wealth, you magnetize it. Opportunities reveal themselves in ways you could not have imagined. Confidence becomes natural. Action becomes effortless. The world begins to respond to the certainty within you. When belief is fully cultivated, it changes everything: your perception, your energy, your choices, and the very reality around you. Every thought, every decision, every heartbeat is aligned with abundance. Your mind becomes a force that attracts, creates, and expands wealth, and nothing in the external world can stop it from delivering the life you have chosen to claim. Your subconscious is the engine that drives everything you do, yet most people leave it running on autopilot, shaped by old fears, limiting beliefs, and outdated patterns. It is the silent partner in every decision, every habit, and every thought. If it is trained poorly, it keeps you small, trapped in cycles of scarcity, doubt, and missed opportunities. But when you learn to program it consciously, it becomes an unstoppable force, aligning every part of your mind with the wealth, freedom, and abundance you desire. Your subconscious cannot differentiate between thoughts repeated with emotion and lived reality. Every affirmation, every visualization, every intentional focus rewires it to act in your favor, steering you towards success without struggle. Imagine your subconscious as a fertile field. If you allow weeds of fear, hesitation, and scarcity to dominate, they will choke every opportunity before it can grow. But when you plant seeds of possibility, belief, and abundance, the field transforms into a landscape of limitless potential. Each repetition of empowering thoughts, each conscious choice to focus on opportunity, strengthens these patterns until they become automatic. The actions you take, the energy you radiate, and the opportunities you notice are no longer random. They are orchestrated by a mind trained for wealth. Your subconscious acts as a co-creator, translating your inner world into external reality with precision and power. This is why consistent mental practice is non-negotiable. Repetition is the vehicle through which your brain rewires itself. Small, daily exercises of affirming your worth, visualizing success, and feeling abundance create the neural pathways that become your default operating system. Your conscious mind sets the direction, and your subconscious drives the vehicle forward with unstoppable momentum. Every thought aligned with prosperity reinforces patterns that attract opportunity, ideas, and connections. Every thought of doubt or fear strengthens old patterns that limit growth. The choice is yours, and the stakes are nothing less than the life you are capable of creating. Emotional intensity is what activates your subconscious most powerfully. A dry, intellectual repetition of affirmations is far less effective than thoughts infused with feeling. When you feel excitement, gratitude, and certainty while affirming your ability to attract wealth, you anchor these patterns deeply. Your subconscious cannot resist the energy of emotion. It registers possibility as reality, and your actions, decisions, and intuition begin to follow. This is the hidden mechanism behind every great achiever. They do not rely on luck. They do not wait for opportunity. They program their subconscious to anticipate, recognize, and act upon abundance with precision. The reward for mastering your subconscious is profound. You gain alignment that feels effortless, focus that cuts through distraction, and energy that attracts opportunity naturally. Wealth stops being something you pursue and becomes something you embody. Your mind begins to notice solutions where others see problems, opportunities where others see obstacles, and resources where others see scarcity. Every action you take is supported by a subconscious trained to deliver results. This is the invisible architecture of success. Your subconscious becomes a relentless ally, translating your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions into a life of freedom, prosperity, and unlimited potential. By taking control of this inner engine, you claim the power to create not just wealth, but a life that reflects the full measure of your capability and vision. Thought alone cannot create wealth. Belief alone cannot manifest the life you desire. Action is the bridge between what exists in your mind and what appears in your reality. The universe responds to movement. The mind aligns, the subconscious supports, but nothing changes until you take deliberate, consistent steps toward the life you are claiming, waiting for perfect conditions, waiting for confidence to arrive, waiting for luck to intervene is the trap of the untrained mind. Action transforms potential into results. It turns intention into experience. It converts dreams into measurable outcomes. Every step you take, no matter how small, sends a signal to your subconscious and to the world, you are ready. Momentum begins with a single deliberate decision. That first action, even if imperfect, sets the stage for progress. The mind, when trained for wealth, recognizes patterns and opportunities that lead to further action. Fear may rise, doubt may whisper, yet each forward movement strengthens belief, reinforces neural pathways of success, and deepens your alignment with abundance. The cycle is powerful. Thought leads to belief, belief leads to action, and action reinforces both thought and belief, creating unstoppable momentum toward the wealth you are building. Consistency is the secret multiplier. One isolated act is not enough. The brain rewires itself only through repetition, only through persistent engagement in behaviors aligned with your goals. Daily actions, repeated without hesitation, transform skills, perceptions, and habits into automatic systems that work for you rather than against you. Each choice to act despite fear, to pursue opportunity despite uncertainty, compounds over time into outcomes that far exceed what most people imagine possible. Wealth is rarely a sudden arrival. It is the natural result of persistent, intelligent action taken in alignment with a mind that expects abundance. Your actions must be deliberate, focused, and infused with intention. Each step you take carries weight when it is aligned with your vision. Decisions become sharper, energy becomes more concentrated, and your presence begins to attract opportunities as naturally as gravity pulls objects toward the earth. Hesitation dissipates because your subconscious has learned to trust the alignment you have created. Your mind, trained to expect success, notices what others miss, moves where others freeze, and recognizes potential where others see impossibility. This is how ordinary effort, guided by an extraordinary mind, transforms into extraordinary results. The reward for taking action is immediate and profound. Each step forward strengthens confidence. Each decision executed sharpens clarity. Every small victory accumulates, building momentum that carries you past doubt, fear, and resistance. Wealth begins to flow, not as a distant goal, but as the natural outcome of a mind fully aligned with opportunity and purpose. Action is not the supplement to mental training. It is the proof of it. Your mind has prepared you. Your subconscious has guided you. Now it is time to move, to engage, to claim what is already being drawn toward you. Every step you take is a declaration to the universe and to yourself that abundance is not optional, it is inevitable. By acting consistently and deliberately, you transform potential into reality, and set in motion the unstoppable journey toward unlimited wealth. Fear is the shadow that hides opportunity from the untrained mind. It whispers doubt, magnifies risk, and convinces you that the safe path is the only path. Scarcity thinking tells you that resources are limited, that success is a zero-sum game, that the world is working against you. Every moment spent listening to fear strengthens its grip, narrows your perception, and blocks the flow of wealth into your life. But fear is not reality. Scarcity is not truth. They are signals, not verdicts. They are the mind's way of testing your courage, your focus, and your commitment to abundance. The trained mind sees them for what they are: opportunities disguised as obstacles, challenges that demand action, moments that call for belief and clarity. When fear arises, it is a call to power, not paralysis. Your brain responds to threats by narrowing focus and reducing risk, but you can override this response with conscious intention. Every time you act despite fear, you strengthen neural pathways of courage and resilience. You teach your mind that abundance is stronger than scarcity, that opportunity outweighs risk, and that wealth is drawn to those who move decisively. Scarcity thinking shrinks your vision, but abundance thinking expands it. Gratitude, curiosity, and possibility replace limitation, opening doors that fear had closed. Every fear confronted, every scarcity belief challenged, reshapes the architecture of your mind to attract, recognize, and claim wealth naturally. Scarcity is a learned perception, not a fact. Your environment, upbringing, and past experiences have programmed your brain to respond as though resources are finite. But the universe is expansive, and abundance exists in all directions. Training your mind means replacing patterns of lack with patterns of possibility. It means seeing opportunity in every interaction, solution in every challenge, and value in every moment. Scarcity thinking contracts your energy. Abundance thinking magnifies it by deliberately focusing on what is possible, by feeling gratitude for what already exists, and by expecting growth at every turn. You create a mental environment where wealth flows effortlessly. Courage is the muscle that grows through action. Every time you step forward in spite of fear, every time you act despite uncertainty, you reinforce a mindset of resilience. You prove to yourself and to your subconscious that limitation is a choice, not a law. Opportunity responds to this energy. People, ideas, and circumstances align with your determination. The mind trained to act in the presence of fear sees pathways that others cannot see. It converts risk into strategy, challenge into advantage, and resistance into momentum. Fear no longer dictates your decisions. It informs them, and you move with clarity and precision. The reward is profound and immediate. A mind that faces fear and overcomes scarcity thinking experiences freedom, confidence, and clarity. Decisions become sharper. Energy becomes focused. Opportunities that once seemed distant or impossible reveal themselves naturally. You begin to act with authority in every area of your life, drawing wealth not by chance but by design. Fear becomes fuel. Scarcity becomes a signal to expand. Every step you take in defiance of limitation strengthens the mental systems that attract abundance. By mastering fear and scarcity, you align yourself with the flow of wealth, creating the clarity, confidence, and courage necessary to claim the life you are capable of living. Abundance is not just a financial state. It is a mindset, a lens through which the world reveals its possibilities. A mind trained in scarcity sees limits, obstacles, and risk at every turn. A mind attuned to abundance sees opportunity, potential, and growth everywhere. It is not about ignoring reality. It is about perceiving the world through a filter of possibility, recognizing that there is more than enough to go around, and that you are fully capable of claiming your share. Abundance thinking reshapes your perception, expands your energy, and attracts circumstances that align with prosperity. The moment you embrace this mindset, your entire world shifts. Gratitude is the anchor of abundance. Every day you acknowledge what you already have, you signal to your subconscious and to the universe that you recognize value. This recognition amplifies your ability to receive more. When your mind focuses on abundance rather than lack, you become magnetic to opportunity. Your energy changes, your confidence grows, and your actions become sharper, more deliberate, more powerful. The brain responds to repeated thoughts and feelings. By practicing gratitude and focusing on possibility, You create neural pathways that make abundance your default state. Your mind begins to scan your environment for growth, solutions, and wealth, and you start noticing opportunities that others overlook. Abundance thinking is also about generosity. The mind that hoards, fears, and resists giving remains trapped in limitation. Wealth flows to those who understand that value is not finite, and that every action taken in alignment with growth multiplies beyond the immediate moment. By giving, by sharing, by contributing, you reinforce the belief that there's enough for everyone, including yourself. This principle triggers a powerful feedback loop. The more you operate in generosity and abundance, the more opportunities, resources, and connections flow toward you. Your mind begins to operate as a magnet, naturally drawing what you need to achieve your goals. Your energy is the medium through which abundance flows. A mind trained to see possibility, fueled by gratitude and aligned with generosity, emits a frequency that the universe recognizes. You become a signal, a source of attraction, a presence that opportunities gravitate toward. Challenges no longer feel paralyzing. They feel like invitations to expand, to act, to grow. Scarcity thinking contracts your energy and limits your capacity to see solutions. Abundance thinking expands your reach, sharpens your focus, and strengthens your resilience. Every thought, every emotion, every action becomes a vector for growth, wealth, and impact. The emotional reward is immediate and transformative. A mind attuned to abundance experiences freedom from fear, clarity in decision-making, and confidence in action. Opportunities begin to appear in ways that feel effortless yet inevitable. People, resources, and ideas align in support of your vision. Every decision you make, every step you take is reinforced by a mindset that expects prosperity. Wealth stops being something you chase, it becomes something you embody. By cultivating an abundance mindset, you transform your inner world into a powerful magnet for external success, creating a life where possibilities are limitless and your potential is fully realized. Your environment shapes your mind more than you realize. The people you surround yourself with, the media you consume, the conversations you engage in, all of it imprints patterns onto your subconscious. Minds tuned to limitation are reinforced by negativity, doubt, and scarcity. Minds tuned to abundance are amplified by inspiration, growth, and possibility. If you want to attract wealth, you must immerse yourself in conditions that expand your thinking, sharpen your focus, and elevate your energy. Your external environment becomes an extension of your inner world, guiding your thoughts, influencing your beliefs, and shaping your actions. Every connection, every interaction, and every influence matters. Surround yourself with individuals who think boldly, act decisively, and embody the results you desire. Absorb ideas from those who have achieved what you aim for. Read, listen, and learn from minds that stretch your perspective. Your subconscious will absorb these signals, and over time, your beliefs, habits, and actions will align with success. The people and environments you choose are not merely companions or settings, they are catalysts. They teach your mind what is possible, what is expected, and what is achievable. Your thoughts begin to reflect the possibilities you are consistently exposed to, and your reality shifts accordingly. Toxic influences, on the other hand, drain energy and reinforce limitation. Complaints, negativity, envy, and fear act like anchors, holding your mind to the ground while opportunities float just beyond reach. Every time you allow these influences into your mental space, you reinforce scarcity thinking, doubt, and hesitation. The trained mind is vigilant. It protects its focus, curates its influences, and intentionally chooses environments that fuel growth. By controlling what you expose yourself to, you take control of the very signals your subconscious receives, steering it toward opportunity, abundance, and wealth. Your surroundings also influence the energy you carry. Energy is contagious, and the presence of positivity, confidence, and purpose amplifies your own energy. When you operate in spaces that inspire you, your thoughts become clearer, your emotions stronger, and your actions more deliberate. Your mind begins to operate at a higher frequency, scanning for opportunities, recognizing solutions, and acting with precision. Momentum builds naturally, not by accident, but by deliberate alignment with environments that elevate your potential. This is the invisible architecture of success, the careful orchestration of influences that shape your thoughts, habits, and actions in service of abundance. The reward of a consciously chosen environment is extraordinary. Clarity replaces confusion, Confidence replaces hesitation, and action replaces procrastination. Your mind, consistently exposed to growth, inspiration, and wealth-focused thinking, begins to operate as a magnet for opportunity. You notice possibilities where others see dead ends. You move decisively where others hesitate. You attract resources, connections, and experiences that reinforce your vision. By shaping your environment with intention, you amplify every thought, every belief, and every habit that draws wealth towards you. The life you are capable of living is not left to chance. It is cultivated through every choice you make about the people, spaces, and influences you allow into your world. Persistence is the force that turns potential into reality. Talent, knowledge, and even opportunity mean little without the unwavering commitment to continue, to move forward, and to endure despite setbacks. The mind trained for wealth does not crumble in the face of failure. It adapts, recalibrates, and presses onward with renewed focus. Every obstacle, every delay, every moment of doubt is an opportunity to strengthen neural pathways of resilience, determination, and clarity. Success is not reserved for those who avoid difficulty. It belongs to those who persist, who refine their approach, and who refuse to surrender to temporary defeat. Your brain thrives on repetition. Each effort, each decision, each attempt reinforces patterns that create automatic competence, intuition, and confidence. The mind becomes conditioned to recognize opportunity, to act decisively, and to maintain clarity under pressure. This is how ordinary effort accumulates into extraordinary results. Wealth is rarely instant. It is the byproduct of persistent action, of a mind that refuses to give up, and of the consistent application of thought, belief, and energy toward a clear vision. Persistence converts struggle into momentum, doubt into insight, and setbacks into stepping stones. Endurance is also emotional. The mind trained to persist maintains focus, energy, and positivity even when the path seems uncertain. Frustration and impatience are natural, but they are signals, not commands. They indicate areas to strengthen, approaches to refine, and lessons to integrate. Persistence does not mean mindless repetition. It means intelligent, focused, relentless engagement. Each day you return to your vision. Each time you push past hesitation. Each time you act despite fear, your brain and your subconscious grow stronger, more aligned, and more capable of producing extraordinary results. Every step taken with consistency compounds exponentially. Tiny victories accumulate into momentum that carries you past barriers, limitations, and doubts. The mind that is trained to persist begins to see challenges not as obstacles, but as necessary catalysts for growth. Each difficulty faced and overcome expands your capacity, sharpens your judgment, and strengthens the neural architecture that supports abundance. Persistence is not simply endurance. It is the training of the mind to operate at a higher frequency, to remain aligned with opportunity, and to draw wealth naturally through continuous, purposeful effort. The emotional payoff is profound. A mind that persists experiences confidence that cannot be shaken, clarity that cannot be clouded, and energy that cannot be diverted. Opportunity begins to appear effortlessly because your focus, habits, and belief are unyielding. Challenges become temporary, lessons become immediate, and success becomes inevitable. The life you desire is not a distant goal, but the natural outcome of your relentless persistence. Each effort reinforces the structures of thought, belief, and action that attract wealth. By committing to persistence, you convert every obstacle into a tool, every delay into momentum, and every day into progress toward the unlimited abundance you are training your mind to claim. Focus is the lens through which your mind shapes reality. Without it, effort disperses, energy leaks, and opportunities are missed. The human mind is capable of extraordinary creation when it concentrates fully on a single goal. Distraction is the enemy of abundance. Every fragmented thought, every diverted attention, every moment spent on trivial concerns weakens the pathways that lead to wealth. But when focus is deliberate, persistent, and unwavering, your mind becomes a magnet, drawing resources, ideas, and opportunities toward your vision with unstoppable force. Clarity is born from focus. When your mind is trained to direct attention to what matters most, distractions fade, and the path forward becomes visible. Scarcity thinking thrives in noise, in chaos, and in indecision. Abundance thinking thrives in clarity, in concentration, and in decisive action. The brain rewards sustained focus by strengthening connections, improving intuition, and heightening perception. Your subconscious begins to anticipate opportunities, recognize patterns, and guide action effortlessly. Focus is the invisible engine behind every achievement, the silent force that converts thought, belief, and intention into measurable results. Every day, your energy is a limited resource. How you allocate it determines the speed and magnitude of your progress. Focus ensures that your energy is invested where it yields the highest return. When you concentrate on wealth, on opportunity, and on growth, your mind filters out what is irrelevant and hones in on what produces results. Habits, decisions, and actions become aligned. Momentum builds. Resistance diminishes. Your ability to act decisively, think clearly, and recognize potential grows exponentially. The mind trained to focus transforms scattered effort into concentrated power, creating outcomes that feel effortless, yet are the result of deliberate mental discipline. Emotional intensity amplifies focus. When you attach feeling to your vision, when desire, excitement, and belief accompany your concentration, your brain responds with heightened engagement. Neural pathways strengthen, intuition sharpens, and the subconscious begins operating in full alignment with your goals. Focus combined with emotion produces action that is unstoppable, energy that is magnetic, and perception that recognizes solutions where others see problems. The mind becomes a tool of creation, shaping circumstances, people, and opportunities to match the clarity of your intent. The reward for mastering focus is extraordinary. A mind that concentrates deliberately experiences a sense of inevitability, a conviction that progress is not optional, it is natural. Decisions are faster, actions are stronger, and results accumulate with precision. Wealth stops being a distant dream and becomes the natural outcome of a mind trained to concentrate, act, and persist. Every thought, every decision, every moment of attention becomes a deliberate act of creation. By training your mind to focus fully on abundance, you align your energy, belief, and action so that opportunities flow naturally, challenges become manageable, and the life you envision begins to manifest with clarity, speed, and power. Discipline is the bridge between intention and results. The mind can imagine, believe, and focus, but without consistent discipline, even the clearest vision remains unrealized. Wealth is not a product of fleeting motivation. It is the result of persistent, deliberate action aligned with purpose. Every habit you create, every routine you follow, and every standard you set for yourself compounds over time, building momentum that becomes unstoppable. Discipline is not restriction, it is freedom. It is the power to direct your energy, thoughts, and actions toward the life you are determined to claim. Consistency is the engine of discipline. The mind trained in wealth operates with precision, making the same choices, executing the same routines, and taking the same actions day after day, regardless of circumstance or emotion. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline persists. It keeps you moving when excitement fades, when fear rises, and when challenges appear insurmountable. The small, repeated actions you take daily become the scaffolding of success, creating a structure so strong that opportunities flow into it effortlessly, almost inevitably. Each disciplined act reinforces belief, strengthens focus, and accelerates momentum toward abundance. The power of discipline is amplified by self-awareness. A mind that understands its patterns, its weaknesses, and its triggers is able to direct its energy intentionally. You cannot rely on willpower alone. It is finite, fragile, and inconsistent. Discipline transforms willpower into a system, a set of deliberate choices that align your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with your goals. Each decision to act according to principle rather than impulse strengthens the architecture of your mind. Habits become automatic, focus becomes effortless, momentum becomes unstoppable. The brain begins to operate as a magnet, drawing resources, opportunities, and solutions toward you naturally. Emotional engagement deepens discipline. When your vision is vivid, when your belief is unwavering, and when your desire is intense, discipline is no longer a struggle. It becomes a natural expression of your energy. You no longer force yourself to act. You act because your mind, your emotions, and your subconscious are fully aligned. Every routine, every habit, every disciplined action carries weight and intention. The energy behind it multiplies the effect, creating patterns that are self-reinforcing, resilient, and powerful. Discipline, when fueled by clarity and emotion, transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. The reward for disciplined action is profound. A life built on deliberate habits, consistent focus, and unwavering standards attracts wealth with precision. Your mind operates in alignment with opportunity, your subconscious guides your actions, and your energy magnetizes the results. Challenges become manageable, setbacks become temporary, and progress becomes inevitable. Discipline turns vision into reality, intention into action, and desire into measurable abundance. By mastering the practice of discipline consistency, you transform your mind into a force that not only attracts wealth, but sustains it, expands it, and multiplies it, creating a life that reflects your highest potential, clarity, and power. Your emotions are the fuel that powers every thought, belief, and action. They are the force that either propels you toward abundance or pulls you back into limitation. Most people underestimate their emotional state, allowing fear, doubt, or frustration to dominate, silently undermining their ability to attract wealth. The mind trained for abundance understands that emotional mastery is not about suppression, it's about direction. When you intentionally cultivate positive, empowering emotions, you amplify focus, strengthen belief, and energize action in ways that create measurable results. Gratitude is the foundation of emotional power. Every moment spent appreciating what you already have shifts the brain into a state of abundance. Gratitude engages neural pathways that heighten perception, increase resilience, and attract opportunity. When you focus on what is possible rather than what is lacking, your mind begins to notice solutions where others see obstacles. Your energy expands, your confidence grows, and your actions become more deliberate and effective. Emotion is not a side effect. It is a signal that informs your subconscious and your environment that you are ready to receive, create, and sustain wealth. Excitement and anticipation amplify the power of thought. When your mind is emotionally invested in the vision of abundance, the subconscious responds with heightened alignment. Neural pathways strengthen, intuition sharpens, and momentum builds naturally. The emotional charge behind desire accelerates action, attracts resources, and magnifies opportunity. Fear and hesitation may still arise, but they lose their grip when excitement is persistent and focused. Your mind begins to move instinctively toward wealth, guided by the emotional energy you generate, producing results that feel effortless because they are in harmony with your inner state. Emotional resilience is essential for wealth creation. Setbacks, delays, and challenges are inevitable, but the mind trained to manage emotion responds with clarity rather than chaos. Frustration becomes feedback, disappointment becomes insight, and uncertainty becomes motivation. Each emotional challenge you navigate strengthens the neural systems that support persistence, focus, and belief. Your brain learns to maintain alignment with abundance even when external conditions are imperfect. Mastery over your emotional state allows you to act decisively, think clearly, and recognize opportunities that others overlook. The reward of emotional mastery is profound. A mind that harnesses emotion effectively operates with precision, magnetizes opportunity, and sustains momentum. Confidence becomes natural, focus becomes effortless, and energy becomes magnetic. Wealth stops being a distant goal and begins to flow as a natural consequence of the emotional, mental, and behavioral systems you have cultivated. Every feeling of excitement, gratitude, and possibility reinforces the patterns that attract abundance. By mastering your emotional state, you transform your inner world into a powerful generator of wealth, ensuring that every thought, every belief, and every action aligns seamlessly with the life you are destined to claim.